You finally find your dream apartment on Housing Connect. You apply and wait weeks, months, and even years just to find out, boom, rejected. No warning, no second chance, just done. That rejection isn't random. Most people mess up their applications without even realizing it. So today we're going to break down the 7 biggest mistakes people make on Housing Connect and how you can avoid them. Mistake number 1 is using your net income rather than your gross. This mistake gets so many people rejected because Housing Connect does not care about how much money hits your bank every other week. Instead, we care about your gross income, or the amount that you make before any taxes or deductions are taken out. This is a very common mistake with a very easy solution. All you're going to want to do is just go to your HR and get your last 6 pay stubs from your job. Then you're going to want to add these totals up together and divide them by 6. With this number, you'll be able to apply for apartments where your income fits within that range. My advice, try to look for lotteries where your income fits in the middle of the income range. That way it accounts for any deviations in income after we do the 6 calculations. Mistake number 2 is simply not updating your Housing Connect profile. When was the last time you actually updated your profile? Most likely, things may have changed in that time. You may have gotten married, you may have had a child, you may have even had a job change. No matter what happens in life, you'll want to be sure your profile is up to date with the most recent information about you and your household. Because once that lottery application is closed, no changes are going to be allowed. For example, I've had a handful of applicants who've had to withdraw their applications because they had a new spouse that wasn't around when they first applied. And quite a few applicants who were even rejected automatically because they applied for lotteries based on their current income, not realizing that their profile still had their previous income from an old job. The best advice for this is to simply make a note on your calendar to update your profile, whether it's every 3 months, every 6 months, or even every year. This way you're able to give the most up-to-date information possible. Mistake number 3 is applying for the wrong income bracket. Now, you ever applied for an apartment thinking it was $800 a month, and then when you got your offer, you found out it was actually double? That's because you were applying for the wrong bracket amount based on your income. See, Housing Connect has different income ranges, going from 30% on the very low end up to 165%. And these ranges also change depending on how many people live in your household. It's easy for us to get caught up on the rent prices that are on the left side of the application and completely ignore the income ranges on the right side. So this is what I want you to do to fix this. You basically have to rewire your brain. Rather than looking at the left side where it shows the bedroom size and the rent, you'll want to start out looking at the right side, which focuses on the household size and income ranges. From there, look for your household size and where your gross income goes, and then look to the left to see how many bedrooms you can actually qualify for. Would it take some time to get used to? Absolutely, but it's best to know this now so that way you're not surprised by the rent charge later. Mistake number 4 is submitting incorrect or incomplete documents, and I need to emphasize this because it happens all the time. Processors cannot accept screenshots or photos of any of your income documents or assets. This goes for your pay stubs, bank statements, and tax returns. You will not believe the amount of times that I have had applicants upload 50 plus documents on Housing Connect only for it to be screenshots of their pay stubs and their bank statements. We cannot accept this. A good rule of thumb is all documents, whether income or assets, need to be uploaded as PDFs. The only exception is if you are doing an in-person interview, in which case you can provide printed copies. Now, things like your IDs, social security cards, birth certificates for the kids, those can be uploaded as photos, but everything else, PDFs. If you want my best advice, go download an app like CamScanner, which will allow you to take a photo of your documents and automatically convert them into PDFs. Or if you're not very smartphone savvy, just opt for the in-person interview. Mistake number 5 is ignoring community board preferences. Now, I've processed hundreds of applications throughout my 6-year career, and I can tell you firsthand, community board preferences are the best ways to improve your chances of getting selected. Here's a little known secret. If you apply for a lottery in your current neighborhood, you give yourself an almost 50% better chance of being selected. This is because many buildings assign half of their apartments to people who already live there. But where do you find your community board? Well, finding your community board is easier than you think. You can either Google NYC community boards, or you can click on the link that I've left in the description. From there, you can select the borough that you currently live in and scroll down until you find your neighborhood. What you'll likely notice is that your community board actually consists of multiple neighborhoods, meaning you can apply for lotteries in any of these neighborhoods and still be considered a community board applicant. But how can we tell Housing Connect that we're a community board member? Well, the great thing about the system is that it automatically tags you as a community board member because it cross-references the address of the lottery with your current address on the profile. Again, why it's important to always update your profile. If you take anything away from this video, simply focusing on community board preference apartments will actually give you a much better chance of being selected than trying to go after something in a whole other area of New York. Mistake number 6 is missing deadlines after being selected. When I tell you, these deadlines are strict, and if you miss them, even by a day, you're out. No exceptions. A huge mistake I see people make is ignoring these deadlines to submit their documents. You finally receive the email that your name has been pulled and you have about 10 business days to submit your documents, only to end up putting it off until day 8, day 9, even day 10. But because Housing Connect lotteries can receive tens, even hundreds of thousands of applications every single day, Housing Connect and processors have to be strict with these deadlines. As an applicant, you'll be given 2 opportunities to submit documents. Your first request will be given 10 business days to submit pretty much the full list. Now, if the processor goes through your documents and says that you need to submit additional documents, you'll be sent a second request, in which case you're given 5 business days. It's important to know that they do not play with these deadlines. You could find yourself being rejected even if you're missing 1 document on your second request. So do yourself a favor and check your emails daily and double check before uploading your documents. Mistake number 7 is thinking you can't apply due to bad credit. I got some good news for you. Your credit score doesn't matter. No, seriously. A lot of people think that you need good to great credit to qualify for housing lotteries, when in reality, you don't. In fact, you actually can't be rejected based on your credit score. Now, lotteries do run credit screenings, but that's because they look for things like recent bankruptcies, evictions, or open judgments. If you can avoid those 3 things, then you have nothing to worry about when it comes to your credit. But if you still are worried about the credit screenings, you can actually opt out of this by providing your lease and your last 12 most recent rent payments. So there you have it, the 7 biggest mistakes that people make on Housing Connect. Did you make any of these mistakes? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to make sure you actually get picked in housing lotteries, check out my next video.